It's Wednesday, November 5th here in southern Indiana, and today's the warmest day we'll have for a while. Storms are moving in Friday night, and after that, temperatures are going to plummet. So I feel like this is my window to make some changes before cold temps really set in. I've been reading all of your comments, and I agree. My colonies probably have too much space for their current populations. But as a first-year beekeeper, I'll be honest, sometimes the unknown and inexperience can feel paralyzing. There's such a steep learning curve, especially in the first year, and it's easy to overthink every decision. But today I'm taking action on an idea that I've had for quite some time, and I've mentioned in previous videos. Instead of fully condensing the hives down to single deeps, which seems to be really invasive this time of year, I'm going to remove the outermost undrawn frames and replace them with follower boards to gently reduce the space they need to heat, rather than completely changing up the space and plans they've been working on for so long. It's a bit experimental, but I'm confident in the theory behind it, and I think it'll be the least stressful solution for both the bees and for me. So if that sounds good to you, keep watching and let's get into it.
Hands in the earth, we're making it right. Planting hope by morning light. Every seed a promise sown. Together we'll make the world our own.
These girls have been sucking down the 2-to-1, so I'm curious to see how their stores are looking. This is 1-to-1. Looks like they're still taking it, but not nearly as quickly as the 2-to-1. They are all up here at all three of these holes, trying to take some sugar water. Now there is a part of me that doesn't love the fact that I'm cracking the propolis seal, but I think this is necessary and worth it, so that's what we're doing. And the temperatures aren't going to plummet just yet. Tomorrow, let's see, Thursday, is still going to be warm, and the thunderstorms I don't think are coming in until Friday night. So let's see. Can you see? I'm sorry for the lighting. The sun's behind you, so you can see the camera shadow. I'm sorry about that. And it's shadowed down here, but you can see this green right here. It's some basically plastic wrap. And I put it there because there is just a slight bit of a gap between the boxes, and I don't have my wraps ready yet. So I just wanted to have just a barrier to not have wind just blowing in there. So I am going to have to take that off to get into the bottom deep. Dang it. Is anybody else dealing with yellow jackets? Because I don't remember seeing yellow jackets. I don't know, but I have been. Now that I have bees, I guess I notice them more because they're just marching in, trying to march in. Okay, I'm going to try to be quick and decisive and careful, because the last thing that I want to do is injure a queen now. I mean, that would just, that would be devastating. All right, go down there, girl. Yeah, these are still empty. Just gonna sit it over here. Okay, with the lighting, it's not ideal. It just makes it kind of hard to see in here. Let's see, that one's not drawn all the way down. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna take 2 from each box, or maybe even 3. If I take 3 from each box, then that would leave me with 7 on top of 7, that would be 14. I mean, I still think that's very doable, and if that suits the size of the colony, then, you know, it suits the size of the colony. Now, something I am going to have to be careful with is I have my entrance reducer on the smallest hole opening, and it only has a little space on the side, and I have the openings right here. So if I move it over too much, then it's going to cover that opening, and I'm just going to have to flip it, and they're going to have to reorient to the new spot. Okay, get off, girls. It's also possible that I might have a frame down in the bottom that I can bring up and make it better that way. I think I might just pop this box off and take a look at what I have. I am curious if they've capped any of this over. Let's see this. Oh, that's capped over. You can see some of it's capped over. Let's see how much do I want to get into this? I also want to see the population. This frame's covered, mostly covered in bees. It's not capped over. I'm gonna leave it down in there. Looks like it's pretty full with nectar. I'm gonna raise, am I gonna raise this one? It's got a lot of capped honey. All right, I just don't want to disturb them too much. I'm gonna just put these back together. Trust them to get them capped over. I can see though, I'm gonna take a peek at this one. See how full it is. It's pretty heavy. Let's see. Okay, yeah, they've got some nectar on this side and a lot on this side, some pollen. By the way, they've still been bringing in pollen. And I found late in the season, I found Weatherbug is a website and app. It tells you about local pollen and what your pollen sources are in your area. Wish I would have found it earlier in the season, but it'll be nice next year. Anyway, they were still bringing in pollen, and I didn't really know why, and it's ragweed apparently. So allergy sufferers aren't too happy about ragweed, but beekeepers probably are. Ah, dang it. It's a yellow jacket. All right. There's a yellow jacket going in here, and then one of the girls got me in the arm. So I don't know if the yellow jacket alarmed them or me trying to smack the yellow jacket alarmed them. Okay, I don't think they like being messed with. I'm going to cover them up, get this top box off. Let's see, we've taken off 2 frames so far, and let's see what we have in the bottom. Okay, we're going to try to be quick because I guess not really surprisingly, these girls are a little on edge. Okay, it's not really sticking. There we go. Gotta smoke them good. All right, that's covered. Now, I just want to get it. I took 2 out. All right. You know, that's pretty full. This is pretty full. I'm not hating their population size. I think, in my unprofessional opinion, I can get away with taking out 2 each. It'll help. Still might not be ideal, but it'll be better. It's going to be the least invasive. I just take them out and then replace with the follower boards, and I think I can still get away with where the entrance reducer is. All right, I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah, we're just going to go with that and hope that that's enough of a difference. Now, hopefully these fit, because the wood that I used for a green hive is different than white hive. It's slightly thicker, so then the dimensions are going to be a little off. Anyway, hopefully these are going to be the right size. They are not. Okay, I need to cut off about 1/4 of an inch. All right, I'm going to put this in there. And I have made this part for the bottom, I've made longer so that it goes all the way down to the bottom. Okay, this is not working. How can I get them out of the way? I don't know how I'm going to get them off the bottom and out of the way. I'm going to go cut this and come back, and maybe they'll be out of the way already. I'm going to cover this. All right, let's see if this is better. Maybe I can just leave them covered, and that'll be helpful. Let's see. Okay, I think that's going to work. And it also, there's still some space where if there are a few girls there, and there are, they can still climb through, I think, and get on the right side of things. Probably going to have to trim that one too. I'm going to leave those alone. From what I can see, and you probably can't with the lighting, and I'm sorry about that. Let's see if we can do this. Still bad lighting, but these frames are quite full from what I can see. But I do know the girls aren't happy with me. I get it. Not the time of year you really want to be messing with them. They're going to be defensive and stuff, so. Dang it, I keep forgetting. I'm going to try to do it with this box on here. I need to scoot this bottom box back just a smidge. I was going to try to do it with head off so it'd be lighter. And of course I forgot again. I think I can do it. Hope I can. All right, you know what? It's not moving. It's not that bad. And I'm going to wrap it, so it's fine. Now, I need to get back in here. Keep smoking where I got stung. mask those pheromones. Okay, so now I want to get in here. You can't get in there, girl. You gotta go somewhere else. Go through the entrance. All right, we got those down. I'm gonna try to just shift this. Dang it. Well, I guess it's warm enough. The propolis is getting gooey. That's good though, because the propolis seals that I've broken can goo back together. Okay, I'm gonna try to just scoot this. It was a yellow jacket. All right, open this up and get that in without opening them completely up. Now, is this ideal? You know, maybe not, but I do see that the population has grown since I was in here last. Yeah, this needs some off. And I feel like this is going to help. All right, is this good enough? Not quite, dang it. Need a little bit more. I want it to be snug. All right, I like that. I think that's going to be helpful. I'm going to show you. Let's see. I hope you can see that. I can't even see my screen. But you can see I've taken out 2 frames, filled it in the space with this foam insulation. So they're going to have less space to warm up. And this side is the north side. So they're not going to get any sun on this side. And if anything, they're going to get northern winds, which are going to be cold, really cold. So having that space filled in and more insulation, I think that's going to really make me feel better going into winter. I think it's going to set them up better going into winter. Come on, girly, get out of there. Okay, go. There we go. Okay, now, is it still, is it jam-packed full? No, but it's a lot more full. It's a lot fuller than it was and less space. So I'm happy with that. It's least invasive. It's not really messing with the plan that they had, because I only took a few frames out that, maybe weren't fully drawn, didn't have any resources. They still have room in there to continue raising brood and storing food. And I do feel better. It's the 1-to-1. And now I'm going to put these back in here. This one needs to be refilled soon. I want to try to get these girls out of there so I can get the lid on. I think they're all out. All right, I'm not going to worry about the bags right now. Okay, that makes me feel better. Let's move over to White Hive. All right, they're still taking the feed too. And they seem to be taking more of the 1-to-1 than Green Hive is. I'm smacking any yellow jacket that I can. I can appreciate all creatures, but when if I see yellow jackets just flying in nature, I'm, gonna leave them alone. Try to leave them alone. If they're not bothering me, I'm gonna leave them alone. But yeah, if they're messing with my girls in my hives, I'm gonna have something to say about it. Okay, now traditionally this hive has been stronger, bigger. Let's see what we think about that. I'm gonna just put this here so I don't have to move them when I take this top box off. Okay, I don't know, I'm seeing a lot of population here, so can you see? Not great. I hope you can see the population from just looking down at the frames. They all look pretty full of bees, other than maybe this 10th frame. So I'm kind of thinking, maybe I just take out the 10th frame, reduce it a little, but not much. They don't have anything in here, and it's not fully drawn. Yeah, I think at least one. I'll take this top box off and see what they look like in the bottom box. I might still take out 2 each, but we'll see. All right, I'm gonna put this feeder board back on here. Am I gonna take that out? I still haven't looked at their, I see a lot of what looks to be capped honey, but not on this one. And it's not fully drawn. Let's come back to this. Okay, I'm going to cover this back up and take them off. See how the bottom looks. I'm hoping to not need to put this back on, this wrap, because I'm in the process of making an actual wrap that will encase the 2 bottom deeps, and then I won't need that. It's still going to be warm tomorrow, so I think they should be fine if I don't get it on there today. Oh wow, that one's heavier. Definitely heavier. Whew. Definitely heavier than green hive. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Definitely full right there. Okay, this is not fully drawn. There's nothing in it. So yeah, we're gonna take this one out. Let me see what this looks like. I don't remember if it was green hive or white hive, but I have screen bottom boards and I have an insert that I put in the bottom, and I can see on the bottom board insert kind of what they've been doing. It's a great way to monitor various things. And I could see, oh, they're capping honey on here. Yep. All right, let me see what the other, I'm going to rotate this simply because they're capping honey on that side and they don't have much on the other side. I'm not finishing my story. Anyway, on the bottom board insert, there were little wax flakes like they are drawing comb. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not thinking that, they are doing some great extensive drawing of the comb, but it looks to me like they're working hard. So, you know what? This isn't fully drawn. It doesn't have any resources on it. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, that was a lot of stretchy, sticky propolis. I'm going to take this one out, scoot that one in, and go ahead and reduce them by 4 frames each. So 2 and 2. All right, it's okay, girls. All right, so I'm going to scoot this one closer and see if my insert fits, because this one is different than green hive. No, not quite. All right, let's see how this works. I think it's gonna work. Just take a little cushion, maybe. Oh, you know what? That paper. If I trim that paper off more, I think that's gonna do it. Yep. And we are clear of the entrance, so yeah, this is gonna work. Here's a drone. All right, let's get these girls back on there. Oh gosh, almost stuck the landing. Not quite. Okay. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I am very tempted to pull up more frames and see what all the frames are looking like. It's definitely warm enough to do that. Even if I pulled up a brood frame, I would be fine. However, I do not want to smash my queen this time of year. That would be devastating beyond repair. So we're not gonna do anything that would cause that to happen. All right, so we only took one out of this box. So I'm gonna get this one. Stupid yellow jacket. Oh, there are a lot on here. Okay, they're working, but they don't have anything in here yet. So yeah, we're gonna move this a little more so I can get them in here. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this off so I can get them in there more safely without injuring them and getting them stuck on the other side. There we go. Got most of them. Good enough. I'm not gonna smoke them too much because they're not going super crazy. Okay, I feel better. I feel better about this. So, all right, I feel like I probably need to, gonna have to cut some off of this one and put that one in there, and then we'll see pretty perfect on the height. Okay, so I need to take off about a quarter of an inch. All right, let's see about this fit. I don't know. I want it snug, but let's see. I do not like the mess I'm making here, dang it. This stuff is messy. All right, can they still work there? Hopefully they can. I think that's gonna do it. Yep, I like it. Hopefully you can see. Again, they're not busting at the seams, but it reduces it by 4 frames total. That's a decent amount of volume when you're thinking about comparison to a bee. I am still trying to get them to raise brood. You know, maybe it's still not ideal, but I feel better about it. Let me know what you think. As long as you are polite, you can be negative. Does that make sense? You can make a negative comment while being polite. I don't mind negative comments. Honest comments. Just be polite. I think that makes sense, right? Okay, so the box. Get this box back on there. We're gonna kill this yellow jacket. Get their feed back on there. All right, since the bees aren't going super crazy here like they were in green hive, oops, I'm gonna go ahead and put the bags in here. I didn't want to trap any bees in there with the bags. All right, guys, excuse the veil hair. And on that note of veil hair, I have some exciting news coming up. I've been talking about it all summer and fall, but any day now, gonna have an announcement. So be on the lookout for that. With that said, I am feeling a lot better about taking these girls into winter now. It may not still be 100% ideal, but really, like, is anybody's colony going into winter what they want 100%? Probably not. I've talked to some beekeepers recently who have been beekeeping for years or decades, and they say that the winter anxiety doesn't really go away. So I guess that makes me feel a little bit better that I'm so anxious about it. But anyway, I do feel better because I got in there, I got to see their populations, which to me look bigger than they were. We got in there in the top box about a week and a half ago, and the bottom deep we got in, gosh, like 3 weeks ago, I think. And to me, the populations look bigger and better. They've got more stores now. And by reducing their volume from basically a 10 frame setup to an 8 frame setup, we've taken out 4 extra frames that didn't have resources. They weren't covered in bees. We've reduced that space down to just, 16 frames. And the insert that we put in, like I said, is on the north side of the hives. So that's going to be an extra barrier between them and any north winds that we have. That makes me happy. Like I also said, I'm working on some wraps that I'm making that I'm going to get on there really soon. I don't need them on there yet because it might make them too hot right now. It's actually like 70 right now, but it's going to be dropping down into the 20s next week, like a high of 40. So I definitely want to get those ready. Anyway, I'm feeling a lot better about the girls going into winter in a reduced space. I feel like this was the least invasive. Knocking them down to 1 box, I just wasn't happy or comfortable doing that. I also don't think their population needs to be down into 1 box. I feel like they need more than 1 box. I'm inexperienced, so I may be totally wrong on that, but it just seems like 1 box wouldn't be sufficient for, definitely not for white hive. I don't know, but that's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm choosing I'm choosing to do what I'm doing, and right, wrong, or indifferent, that's what I'm doing, and I'm trying to do the best I can, learn as I go. Like I said, leave in the comments what you think. Do you think this is an improvement? Do you think it's a good enough improvement? What do you think? What would you do? Would you have still put them down into a single box? I'm curious, but I like the idea that they move up. The cluster moves up through the winter. So now they have a reduced horizontal space and they still have a vertical space to go up in through the winter. I feel better about it, but I won't know until spring. I don't know. I mean, does anybody know if their bees are going to make it till spring? No. But I feel like, I've treated them for Varroa. They're in a reduced space now. I've fed. They've built up their stores. That's all I can do. Hopefully this is going to kind of reduce my anxiety level a little bit and make me a little more comfortable going into winter. I do feel more comfortable going into winter, but I'm rambling a lot. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking and go work on the wraps so I can get them finished up and make that video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one, guys. Bye.